If there's one thing we can never trust, it's a communist regime. China reneges on the deal. It's Tuesday, October 15th, 2019. China will not agree to buy $50 billion of U.S. farm goods unless all tariffs are removed. This president needs to step up right now. He needs to stand up to China. He should implement additional tariffs now and show them that we are not playing games. Look, China's in a bad place. Their pigs are dying. They've got food shortages. They need to eat. This president must stand up to China now. They're playing games. Look, we all know the goal of China is to weather the storm. They're hoping that this president will be impeached. If he isn't, they're hoping that he will be defeated in 2020, allowing a new globalist puppet to be put in place so that the Chinese communist regime can have full control of America, as the new puppet will bow down and serve China, allowing China to be the world dominant superpower. They're hoping for a puppet to be elected here in America so that they can dominate America and be the world superpower. The only thing stopping them right now is this president. If he's gone, mark my words, China will rule the world. They will be the dominant superpower. They will be fighting for the world reserve currency. And I truly believe that your life is going to change if China becomes the world superpower. They're hoping that this president is impeached or that he is defeated in 2020, because they know that a puppet will be sitting in the White House and they will have full control. SHTFplan.com. There will be a recession. The question is when. The recession's already started. But officially, when will it be a recession? When will it be official? When this government says, hey, we are in recession? It's probably going to be in 2020. I believe wholeheartedly that this is going to be orchestrated. It's going to be a man-made implosion of this economy done on purpose to really hurt America. And I believe China knows that a massive recession is coming. I believe it's going to be worldwide. I believe it will affect China too. But remember, China manufactures things. They're going to work their way out of it. China has massive amounts of gold. They have technology. Again, they produce about 52% of the entire world's steel. They're making things. So they're going to have a much better chance getting out of a recession. We are going to be very weakened by this recession. So China is really gearing up for an economic war against America. And I truly believe that their people are prepared much more than our people. We have a really bad situation here when you think about it. Never before has the world gone into recession with interest rates so low and the balance sheets of central banks so massive. And it's even worse when you have a country here of consumption, consumerism, a country that doesn't make anything. This time it's going to be much different than it was last time. We have a very fragile, slowing, and over-indebted global economy, inflated asset markets, and a weak European banking sector, which is a very explosive mixture that many people are ignoring. And talking about weak banking sector, how about here in America as we continue to inject billions of dollars into our banking system? Today, I think we injected nearly $90 billion. What will happen to the banks when this recession hits? European banks, Chinese banks, and American banks all have been injecting liquidity. What happens when we have a sudden repo spike that's not caused by liquidity, but it's caused by the quality of the collateral? European banks are in big trouble. Deutsche Bank, which we haven't heard about in a long time, massive trouble. If this bank goes up, the entire system will implode. America is going to be hugely affected if Deutsche Bank implodes. And a bank like Deutsche Bank could go down at any time. It could go down tonight. We have no idea. And what's really nerve-wracking is nobody even worries about it. Most people don't even know where Deutsche Bank is, what Deutsche Bank is, the trillions of dollars of derivatives they're sitting on. No one is worried. The news and the analysts just tell the average person that central banks have everything under control. And we're really here in this situation because of the central banks. No one dares to look at the facts. Denial. Denial is a very powerful force, ladies and gentlemen. People just continue to watch their cartoons, smoke their weed, watch football, drink beer, and life goes on. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to change. And people can write me and tell me that the stock market had a great day. Listen, we're so far detached from the stock market, it doesn't even matter. What's reality is what's happening on the streets of America, what's happening in the retail sector, what's happening in freight, what's happening in the auto sector, what's happening in real estate, what's happening in real life. Because the screen is green on the Dow Jones does not affect my life. What's affecting my life is reality. And the reality of things is take a look at your cities, your infrastructure, the homeless epidemic, everything that's going on, our educational system, our country being invaded right now as I speak, and people just deny what is happening. Denial is a very powerful force. Wolfstreet.com today, freight shipments by all modes, truck, rail, air, and barge within the U.S. fell 3.4% in September 2019. Manufacturing and industrial production fell along with construction spending. The hardest hit were the railroads. They were down 7%. Ask yourself, if this is such a great economy, if this is a healthy, booming economy, if we're not in a recession, how come we are seeing recession-type warning signs? Consumers are still buying stuff. This denial that the consumer here in America has, just that nothing bad's going to happen. They're going to keep running up debt, running up the credit cards, that some miracle is going to happen. Things are going to be better tomorrow, or the debt's just going to disappear. It will not happen that way. It is not going to disappear. You are going to get deeper and deeper into debt, and you are going to drown when this collapse hits America. We are being told on a daily basis by the media that the consumer is strong, the economy is strong, it's never been better, unemployment is at 50, 60-year lows, everything is great. Yet the industrial and construction economy are at near zero growth. And I find it really hard to believe that we're at near zero growth when we're being told that everything is doing so well and that everything is so healthy. If everything is so good, how come this article came out in Zero Hedge today? 40 million Americans already don't have enough food to eat. Do your own due diligence. Do your homework. Zero Hedge today. If this is the greatest economy of all time, if we have the lowest unemployment of all time, if the consumer is stronger than ever before, how come 40 million people don't have enough food? Here's some other things we need to take into account. Crops are falling. Crops are falling across the globe. You got the African swine flu killing millions of pigs in China. Pork shot up 69.3% higher in price than a year ago in China. And this is happening globally. I mean, crops, food shortages, swine flu happening across the globe. And right here, we've got our own food shortage going on. If the economy gets worse, less people donate money to food banks, to charities, to feed people who are on the streets or people who don't have enough food. And people are tightening their wallets, they're tightening their budgets, the credit cards are running out, people are getting tapped out, so they don't have that money to donate. They're not as free with that money. In a real booming economy, more people are charitable, they give money away, they try to help, they tithe more with their churches. But as we're seeing, things are tightening up. People are not donating money. They're not donating food like they were. Grocery store prices continue to rise, putting a strain on the average American. I don't know about you. In fact, I'm going to the grocery store tonight. Every week I go, the prices seem to just go up literally on a weekly basis, not a monthly, but a weekly basis. I will see prices of certain goods tonight that will be more expensive than they were 7, 8, 9 days ago. Midwest farmers have been hammered. There is going to be less food available because of the massive flooding in the Midwest. And now blizzards are on their way. I think they'll be hitting the Midwest, parts of the Midwest, around Friday. And many of these fields have not been harvested, a lot of the corn crops, and there's a good chance that they will be completely devastated after this blizzard hits. And this is not only going to affect the farmers, it not only affects the Midwest, it's going to affect you and I, East Coast, West Coast, South, North. It's going to affect everybody because it is called a food shortage. We are seeing food shortages taking place right here in America and across the globe. The New York Fed accepted $87.7 billion in overnight and term repo today, the highest level yet. But you're being told everything is good, everything's healthy, don't worry about anything. The collateral sellers, the shadow banks, need funding. This is a modern day bank run. Cash investors did not pull cash out of the market, but they made borrowing cash more expensive. But everything's okay. Zero hedge today. IMF forecasts synchronized global slowdown. 90% of the world is seeing slower growth. They blame the president, but forget to mention the real reason for the economic slowdown has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with China's untenable debt load and Beijing's resulting inability to boost the credit impulse, which on every prior occasion succeeded pushing the world away from the verge of recession. Not this time. Good article on Zero Hedge. SHTFplan.com, housing market flashes recession warning. Median household income is up 1.3% from last August to this August, while the median home price is up 4.7% over the same period of time. So think about the math for a second. Literally, home prices went up 3 times versus your income. So mathematically, how does this all play out? How can the average American keep up with the cost of housing? Home sales growth has slowed down since 2015. With income not keeping up with home prices, we will continue to see more home sales slow down and prices to come down. It's inevitable. This cannot continue. Falling home prices in turn drive down household spending by way of the so-called wealth effect. Consumers cut spending when assets fall in value. So when we continue to start seeing home prices come down, those homeowners are going to get worried and they're not going to go out and spend money knowing that they're losing money or equity in their homes, that the price of their home is going down. Consumerism is 70% of the U.S. economy. When people are forced to cut, consumerism will get hit. And people are starting to cut now. And yet people, we still see that there are many people out there spending, but how are they doing it? If the average American did not have a credit card today, consumerism in America would be in huge trouble. And at some point it will be, because the average consumer is going to be tapped out at some point. You can only have so many credit cards. You can only run up so much debt. At some point it comes to an end. And at some point the piper must be paid. People are running on borrowed time. I believe that many people are in denial, but I also believe many people know this. And I truly believe that many people are getting very worried. I also believe that more people are beginning to wake up than are falling asleep. And that's a good sign. Many people are watching videos like this and they're waking up. I'm gonna close on this note today. Get your debt paid down. You do not want to be entering a collapse with massive debt. Now is the time to be getting the debts paid off, or at least getting it manageable. Now is the time to be buying hard, tangible assets and preparing for this storm. Metals got rocked today. It's another opportunity to come in and buy very, very cheap. Gold, silver, cheap. The two most undervalued assets on planet Earth are on absolute sale today. And if these markets want to continue pumping up bubbles, so be it. But the sales are the tangible hard assets like gold and silver. Many people continue to ask me my recommendations. I have a link down below. SD Bullion, go to my link. They've been phenomenal. It's where I'm buying. It's where I continue to buy. Service, price, quality, everything's been absolutely phenomenal. I cannot recommend them more. The average dumbed down American is taking his hard-earned money in buying stocks, buying bonds, and these people are going to get annihilated. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Take advantage of the sale. Make sure you have gold and silver. If you can't afford gold, make sure you have silver. Right here. Have a phenomenal week. God bless every one of you. Make sure that you are praying for America. It needs a lot of help. And remember, don't become complacent. Markets back up today with all the bad news. You're watching the manipulation take place. They are suckering people into these markets. They're suckering people into these overvalued assets. And while the insiders are selling and getting out, they're convincing you to get in. They want to draw everybody back to the poker table for one last game. Don't be one of the suckers. This is the time that you should be putting cash away, putting tangible hard assets away, getting your preps in order, getting your relationship with God in order, making sure you have a support group, a team, friends, family. And remember, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. There are going to be people out there that just tell you everything's okay. Don't listen to people like me. But I'm here to reinforce the message. I'm here to reinforce your beliefs, because I believe the same thing you believe, that something is very, very wrong here in America, and that we are going to go through a very critical time, maybe a cleansing of some sort. We are going to see things happen in America that we never thought were possible. And I'm here making this video today to reinforce the same belief that you have and I have. I believe that that's going to happen. And sometimes we believe that we're the only ones that think like this. No, I believe the same thing you believe, and there are millions of people out there that believe in exactly what we believe in. There are people out there right now asleep, and they might watch this video and they might wake up a little bit and they might start asking some questions. And if we don't start asking some questions real quickly here, we are not going to have a country. We must continue to wake up as individuals. We must continue to educate ourselves. We must continue to be aware where we're spending money, where we're spending our time, what we're watching on TV, who we're giving our money to. The NBA, the NFL, done. Walmart, done. People, what can I do? Start using the power of your wallet. Whether you're spending $1, $5, $500, $5,000, who are you spending it with? Dick's Sporting Goods? Walmart? The big banks? If you're in a big bank, maybe you should go to a small local bank. Maybe you should go to a credit union. Start dictating who's getting your money, who you're lending your money to, who you're lending your time to. I'm going to leave it right there. Have a great week. God bless every one of you. Talk very soon.